Welcome to another video from Velshi Kitchens. In this video, we are going to be talking about 5 major differences between homemade food and processed food. Let's get right into it. The problem with modern food processing techniques is that the end product contains nutrients that are much more bioavailable or easily absorbed than our bodies are prepared for. This is because processed foods contain little, if any, fiber. There are 2 types of fiber: soluble and insoluble. Both types of fiber are only found in plant foods. Meat and dairy products contain no natural fiber. Don't be fooled by yogurts that prominently advertise their fiber content. That fiber was added during processing. Fiber is responsible for maintaining our weight and also prevents risk of cancer. The fiber that is found naturally in foods is often lost during processing or intentionally removed. Therefore, most processed foods are very low in fiber.
Activia. Feeling good starts from within.
Processed food leads to type 2 diabetes in the long run. Fiber creates a barrier to prevent the body from absorbing excessive glucose. It's quite natural for blood glucose to rise after a meal. The difference between the absorption of real food and processed food, though, is the magnitude and speed with which blood glucose rises. A large, rapid blood glucose spike triggers a large insulin spike. This can lead our bodies to store more fat instead of using it for energy between meals. Blood glucose spikes also can cause increased hunger. In contrast, a smaller and slower rise in blood glucose, which occurs after eating high-fiber, homemade food, results in a much smaller release of insulin, less stored fat, more satiety, and normal metabolic function. Another primary ingredient in processed food is sugar, which can also harm our bodies in excessive amounts. Added sugars are any sugar that is not naturally occurring in the food and has been added manually. Added sugars aren't just hidden in processed sweets. They're added to bread to give it an appealing brown hue, and there often is a surprising amount added to jarred pasta sauces and cereal. Added sugars are often used in low-fat foods to improve taste and consistency. When we eat home-cooked food or even a fruit, we absorb small amounts of fructose slowly. The liver has no problem metabolizing it, and there is no harm done. But when we consume an added sugar, such as table sugar, which has no fiber, we absorb a large amount of fructose quickly. This overwhelms our liver, which converts the fructose to fat. Processed foods are major contributors of sodium in our diets because salt is commonly added to preserve foods and extend shelf life. Most canned vegetables, soups, and sauces have added salt. Choose foods labeled no salt added, low sodium, or reduced sodium to decrease the amount of salt you're consuming from processed foods. Lots of sodium intake is bad for your health and may lead to high blood pressure and heart diseases. It can also cause calcium losses, some of which may be pulled from bone. Salt and other food preservatives are reduced as much as possible in homemade food, which will have a positive impact on your health and body in the long run. Especially if you're on a diet, regular consumption of processed foods may not be ideal for weight loss. Processed foods also lead to fatty liver and high cholesterol. The liver converts the excess fructose from added sugar into fat. The fat has 2 possible fates. It's either deposited in the liver, called visceral fat, or it's released in the bloodstream as cholesterol and triglycerides. A fatty liver is a damaged liver. One consequence is liver insulin resistance, which also contributes to the development of type 2 diabetes. A byproduct of this process is the production of uric acid, which can contribute to hypertension and gout. Simply by examining flour and sugar, the hallmarks of processed food, it's easy to see how weight gain, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and hypertension can develop.
Okay, I don't know how you guys didn't know this, but I have diabetes.
Okay, Matt, we can't have a serious conversation if you're just gonna make up words.
The simplest way to protect yourself from chronic, diet-related disease is to avoid processed foods, especially ultra-processed foods. When you do buy packaged foods, opt for those that have fewer ingredients, which is an indication of less processing, and consult food labels for hidden added sugar. Cook at home as much as possible, preferably with whole food ingredients. If you feel cooking at home regularly is time-consuming or difficult, then do a search for a local homemade food delivery service to take care of your meals regularly. In case you did not know, Velshi Kitchens is known for delivering wholesome, healthy homemade food to your doorstep. If you are living in Chennai, then do a visit to velshikitchens.in to place an order for you and your family. Thank you for watching, and for more such videos, do subscribe to Velshi Kitchens.